Hey! Hey! What's up? Welcome back. This is, I don't know what episode, number 6, I think. This is number 6.
Probably 6.
And if we put a title on this one, building a career?
Building?
Mastering your craft?
Yes.
Creating?
All of the above.
All those things. We had 3 A's because we got a special guest here. Our first guest ever, actually.
Special. Oh, yeah. Number 1 guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Levi.
Yeah. Levi.
This is Levi. To be exact, cousin Levi. Yeah. So we got a cousin trio in the house.
Yeah. Younger cousin Levi. Part of the littler munchkins at the family reunions.
Yeah. But before we get into the conversation, why don't you tell us a little bit about, what you're doing currently, work-wise, any extracurriculars, just maybe a quick blurb about you.
What is Levi?
Who is this?
Who is he?
Where is Levi? All right, so I work at a jeweler. I'm a jewelry designer / goldsmith, and I also volunteer with a group called the Outdoor Adventure Crew that does outdoor trips for, anybody can sign up, really. And, yeah, it's just a way for people to get together and stuff.
Were you a founder in that at all?
No, I came in late in the game, but...
No.
You
don't need to be nervous because 4 people listen to this. So you can pretty much screw up as much as you want.
Sweet. That's good to know. No, not a founder or anything. This guy named Michael Nixon, he runs it. He's super awesome, very business oriented, so he runs it like a business. It's actually an official nonprofit. But he runs it. I just take care of the merch side of stuff, which we haven't really done a whole lot with, so I don't do a whole lot there.
The merch side?
Yeah.
Like hats and shirts and stuff?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool.
So we want to hear, I specifically want to hear more about the goldsmithing, because I picture you like deep in the heart of Mount Mordor forging the one ring to rule them all, right?
Even the name Goldsmith is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't have a cool title.
I don't know much about how that works, but definitely want to hear more about that. But then also you've dabbled in a bunch of different stuff, like been very creative throughout, you building your career. Like you did some cabinetry, the coolest ever playhouse that thing's all out of wood, right? You built that in your parents' backyard?
Yeah.
It's so dope.
It's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Pass the mic.
You have a like a designer Instagram channel, don't you?
I do. It's very small and the videos are very bad. But if I ever get some time to really work on it and I don't know, make something of it, I'll let you guys know.
Wait. Hang on. I just remembered something too. Because I loved it, and especially I loved the name. But you created a video, and I watched it, and it's the one with the sticky notes.
Ding, 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 ding,
and
ding,
it was
ding,
under
ding,
the
ding,
name McStoink.
McStoink.
Because I love that name. I think it's the best name ever. Just tell us quickly about that. What was that?
All right, so that was just a video that my friends made. Well, McStoink was a group that me and my friends had where we just made stupid videos in high school just when we were bored. And the video is called, that specific one is an anti-bullying video. It's called BU. And 2 of the guys in that group came up with the idea and they let me be a part of it. But they incorporated a bunch of people in the high school when we came in before school started and filmed the whole thing. And then it kind of blew up, especially around schools, because everybody was trying to take part of the anti-bullying thing, and it's not like about bullying, like getting beat up by people, but it was like psychological, especially now when you have like cyberbullying and that kind of stuff. But so it wasn't my idea, but it was a lot of fun to be a part of.
Yeah. I remember you sharing it, and I watched it a couple times, actually. And I thought it was really good.
What I'm hearing is that it was your idea. And you deserve all the credit? Okay. My kids think you're famous. My kids still talk about it all the time. It's the greatest video. It made a huge impact on my brother-in-law. But yeah, I mean, I loved it. I love that video.
So, I guess what.
Wait, how do they access it? If somebody ever wants to watch it, it's on YouTube. You search for McStoink.
Nah. Not anymore, because we had a bunch of other crappy videos under that same YouTube name, and so they hid all those names. And then the person that made the video, I think he changed it back to his name, so it's under Tate DeHaan. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So search BU Tate DeHaan, and I think it should come up.
So what you're saying is McStoink is up for grabs.
If you want McStoink, you can take McStoink.
I would like to name this podcast McStoink. It's my favorite.
Welcome to the McStoink podcast, everybody.
Welcome. Okay, cool. So
yep.
It's still online.
Yeah. So it's just it does say McStoink. So it's Tate and then at McStoink. And then there's 2 videos. Be the Difference is another anti-bullying video. And then BU.
Super cool. That's awesome. Awesome that back in high school you were making that stuff, and that you and your group of friends were mindful enough to do something like that. I know it made a difference for us.
Dude, it was good. It was way good.
Really good.
So back to the goldsmithing, Mr. Goldsmith. You are currently. Well, I guess give us the work history of goldsmith, like where you started. You don't have to name businesses if you don't want. I mean, it's up to you. But
okay.
Why are you how'd you earn the title goldsmith?
So let me start off with this. I've always loved building things and just creating things and knowing that your own hands have made something. Whereas, like, whether it's cabinetry or, woodworking or wood carving or anything, it's just cool to take something from basically nothing, or like a lump of wood or just a piece of metal, and then turn it into a totally finished product that looks amazing and is useful to people. I get a lot of joy out of that. But for goldsmithing specifically, I was originally wanting to, sorry about the us.
Bring on the us. No worries. Keep going.
Originally wanting to own my own business, and so I bothered this company to learn sales. I just kept bothering them until they hired me. It's called Forged Jewelry Works. And so I did sales with them, but I also learned CAD at the same time. And while learning CAD and everything...
CAD is a designing program?
Computer-aided design. So there's a bunch of different CAD programs. Like, they use it for architecture a lot. And I did solar panel design for a while, and they use it in there. But there's all different kinds. And then there's different levels. So there's some very basic CADs, like... If you look at like The Sims, the video game, that's the building side is basically like CAD in a very basic way. But yeah, so I learned CAD through that, and then I just kind of told the goldsmiths that were there, like, if I can learn stuff here and there, and get better and maybe take some more stuff off of their plates to. Just help out in the shop a bit more, and then get better at any of the goldsmithing stuff. And then with that, over time, eventually just turned into being on the manufacturing side full time.
Mostly rings?
Mostly rings. That we do other jewelry too. Necklaces, pendants, bracelets, earrings. I mean, we honestly can do anything, but we're in Provo, so it's like 95% engagement rings.
Yeah. And so how many years have you been doing goldsmithing?
Goldsmithing specifically, like 1 year.
Okay.
I've been with this same company for about 5.
Okay. Building stuff. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Have you seen some of his stuff, Zach?
He's wearing one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's wearing his ring right now that he showed to us, and it's awesome. It's kind of got a mountainscape carved into a ring, and
It's got something
looks really good.
that I couldn't do
Over a decade.
I couldn't do if he did it and gave it to me. I'd still screw it up.
Yeah, it's phenomenal because it's like layered, so it's 3-dimensional, and it's got some layering elements to it that it looks really good.
And I've seen a lot of his stuff on Instagram, and it's, dude, you got talent. You got talent. So if this is also become like this is something you really enjoy doing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's not like the most amazing thing in the world. Like, it's not like I'm a rock star or like Taylor Swift and playing to 1 million fans and getting $5 million every night. But but it's still really cool. Like I said before, to like start with kind of nothing and just on a computer and completely make a design from scratch, and to see it become a ring that somebody's going to wear for the rest of their life.
Maybe you don't feel like a rock star, but for every dude that gets to get down on a knee and propose, you're turning them into the rock star, right?
That's true. Yeah, I don't want to make them look bad. Hope so. Quick story is it always bugs me when guys just come in. This is different from how it used to be, because I feel like it used to be just kind of a surprise when you were gonna ask somebody to marry them. But now, like, girls really want to know the design of their ring and stuff, and they want to be sure that they're gonna like it because they're gonna wear this ring forever. And it always bothers me when a guy will come in and he'll just like see some random thing that he saw or some random ring that he saw on Instagram, and he'll make a whole design about it, and we'll spend all this time with him. And then he was like, okay, I think we're ready to do this. I'm going to bring her in just to see it, just for a little bit. And she'll completely change the whole thing because she hates it. It's happened multiple times. But
do you charge for your time on the designs, or is it just the finished product?
The first hour is free. We don't always charge for the other designs. We should, though. It can get out of hand.
I'll bet I could see that.
Oh, and that would be so, I don't know, just dealing with, never mind. I'm not, it just, that I could see how that could be stressful. So this is something you love, something you're very good at, something that you would like to take into the future, right? This is a career option for you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's still a lot for me to learn. Like, I'm very in the basics of, for as far as like setting stones and that kind of thing, that can be very complicated and takes a while to learn. But like, I can finish plain rings. But yeah, it's very cool part of the process to be in. And yeah, there's just a lot to learn. But yeah, definitely a good career path to be on.
So yeah, I think there's a couple elements to this conversation. One is kind of finding your passion, right? But also this building a career. What would you attribute to building your career thus far, and how do you feel about the direction that it's heading right now? Like, what have you done to get here? What's been important in that process, and do you feel like it's heading where you want it to?
I think it's just a want and kind of a need to be in something that makes me happy, makes me not feel like putting a cheese grater on my forehead because it's so boring or something like that, you know? And I understand that, you know, there's jobs out there that are like that, and maybe people like those jobs, but it's taken me a while to find something that I do enjoy and it doesn't have to be the most amazing thing on the planet, but just something that's good enough.
How did you do that? Like, do you recall certain points in that process? Like, how did you discover what it was that really piqued your interest and you thought that you would enjoy? What caused you to pester this company to hire you, and eventually, they morph your role into a goldsmith and a designer?
Just watching YouTube videos on people making things. And it's all, that's what like my whole Instagram is filled with, is just people making stuff out of anything, whether it's like metal sculptures or wood carvings or tables or epoxy stuff or jewelry. Now my Instagram's totally filled with jewelry. But yeah, that's just seeing that stuff, creation, of whatever it is. Seeing something plain just become something really cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that.
Maybe edit that.
He said maybe edit that out.
Edit that out. No, that was good.
I feel like I'm rambling. Sorry.
That was good.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the things, so I don't know if we mentioned this already, but you're definitely younger generation, right? Mid-20s. Me and Zach are in our early 40s, right? So to us, the idea of starting out doing something that you really like there's a passion and even a hobby or something that you're enjoying, and being able to start there and then turn that into a career, that's pretty awesome. Like, yeah. I don't think some people maybe start that way with, like, if they know in college, like, I'm going to be a dentist, and then that's what so some people still do that, but like your situation and the way you've approached it to place yourself into a situation where you're happy going to work and happy with what you're doing, that's a big win, dude. And I think you do realize that, but as you get older, you'll even realize more and more how powerful that is to your daily sanity and your non-cheese grater face. Right?
Yeah. And, are you hoping at some point to kind of branch off and take this into you mentioned earlier about doing your own business. What are you thinking there?
Yeah. I mean, I've thought about it, or even possibly finding a way to purchase the company, or, just something like that to really expand. But I really enjoy what I'm doing right now. Even though it's not like I'm making a gazillion bucks or anything, but it gives me a lot of pride to create those things, and also just know that those are lasting things that I'm creating. Even when I was at a cabinet shop, it's like just cool to know that people are going to be living in their houses every day, slamming those cupboards that I'm making in that door shop. And, just knowing that whatever I'm making, it's useful and it's actually going to be a part of this world. And what's even cooler about jewelry, though, is that a lot of times people are going to pass these rings down to their kids, and, maybe those kids will change the design, or they'll reuse the gold or use the diamonds or something like that. But it's an heirloom that you're making, and it's brand new for somebody. So it's always really cool.
I actually have a funny story about that. So me and my wife have been passed down some things from our parents and our grandparents, some jewelry, right? And we'd heard about them, seen them our whole lives, and we're like, yeah, this is awesome. And they're not things we would ever sell, but we didn't know anything about them. So we took all of the stuff we had to a jeweler, and we're like, hey, can you tell us anything about any of this stuff? And he's like, it's all fake. He's like, it's all fake. He's like, oh, these, yeah, they're fake. This, oh, yeah, you can tell this is fake. So the value, the intrinsical value, if I'm using that correctly. Intrinsic value is, priceless. But for a jeweler, they are nothing. It was really fun. I was like, oh, these don't need to go in a safe.
let's leave these out so that when the robber does come,
Yeah, he'll take
they think
these.
they're getting away with some good loot.
Yeah, put this in the Halloween box. No, but there is a lot of sentimental value there, so they're still very cool. But it was just a funny story when we brought them in there, the box with the cushion on it, and we're like, "Hey, what's this?" The guy's like, "What?"
Hand it over. Oh, be careful with that. Be careful.
That's plastic, sir. Yeah, but that's really cool. That's cool. And we've seen some of the other stuff you do. Your handiwork and creativity is insane. I mean, honestly, my favorite thing that you've done is he built a playhouse in his parents' backyard. It's like a house, but it's also like a it's not shaped square. It's weird angles and got all these like cool I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
like
cool.
like some of it is I remember just when I saw it, it was the proportions of it and the angles kind of made it seem like you're in, Alice in Wonderland as like a fantasy land type of structure.
Yeah,
Really
it's
cool.
kind of wonky.
Is that on purpose?
But oops.
Yeah, it was on purpose. Yeah, I actually built that with all the wood. So when I worked at the cabinet shop, there would be tons of offcuts, and sometimes I'd sneak a little bit more on those offcuts to get a big piece. But yeah, those are all. So it's kind of an expensive playhouse because it's made with actual hardwood and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Probably should take better care of it, but it's not my parents, and I'm not there. So,
so what would you say to anyone who maybe is, let's say, either early career or maybe they're thinking of pivoting their career? Because especially if you're someone like me and you were early career and you were like paralyzed by the thought of, am I even going into the right profession? Like, is this what I should be doing? And, analysis paralysis, trying to figure out what you really want to do and what you're passionate about. What was the key to getting to that point where you're like, yeah, I enjoy this and I can make some money doing it?
I think, yeah, it's about finding that healthy balance between the two. Because, I mean, there's some pretty awesome jobs you can do out there, maybe like river rafting guide or something, but you're not going to make a whole lot of money, and you're going to live in a tent for the summer. But yeah, I think you just have to check out what your options are, find out what you like to do. For me, it's just building things and building things that I think look cool, and that I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, finding that healthy balance between those, and let me see. Sorry, we're gonna have to edit this part out. I'm trying to think of like what I'm.
No, you're good.
I think that's great what you said.
Yeah, the other thing I was thinking about, just real quick, if somebody wanted to be a jeweler or do jewelry and things at their house, right? So like a hobby, how would you do that? What's needed?
YouTube. There's so much information on YouTube, it's insane. You could do a whole lot on there with just a torch and ordering some silver online, and you can get started that way with some very basic jewelry and work your way up. But there's also lots of places that would use an apprentice, and there's also jewelry schools out there. So, but if you wanted to just dip your toes in, yeah, just YouTube some stuff and you can get some very basic stuff. There's also some cool stores around that let you do or make your own jewelry. There's one called Gem Studio that is pretty popular, and they have multiple locations here in Utah. But a lot of people go there and they teach you how to make your own ring, or I don't know if they do necklaces too, but you can pick out your stone and make your own piece of jewelry there.
Ben, are you wearing a wedding band? You're not. I was going to say, do you feel like you've become an expert in precious metals? Like, if I were to give you this ring off my finger, could you estimate a value on it? Like, how much do you think I paid for that ring? I don't want to put you on the spot.
But
this is tungsten carbide, which is a very dense metal, and it's very scratch resistant, and it's actually very brittle too, so it can crack and break pretty easily. But what's nice about that is some people think that's like a really bad thing, but if you like broke your finger and you're wearing your ring, you could probably like crack that off with a rock. So you don't have to like get it cut off or like pay, a hospital $300 to take it off or something like that. But yeah, it's a nice ring. To put a price value on it, you can get tungsten rings for pretty cheap. I think on like Amazon you can get them for like $40.
Cha-ching.
Other places it might be a bit more expensive. There's also different versions of tungsten, like that's tungsten carbide, so it's I believe it's got other metals in there with it, and then there's other rings that are like full tungsten that are a bit more expensive. But when tungsten first came out, it was actually like really expensive because I don't know, they were only really using it like industrially and stuff for like drill bits, but now it's pretty cheap.
Look at this guy. He knows. I just have to say this real quick. So the inside was like not real rose gold, but colored like rose gold.
Oh yeah, plated. Yeah.
Yeah, and my fingers kind of polished that off over time on the inside, and that's why. So my wife got this for $25 on Amazon.
Ah, nice.
and it matched. Yeah, it is tungsten, and it matched her ring's color on the inside, and that's where I was like, yeah, this is exactly the ring. And it was only $25, so well done. That was impressive.
I got hosed. Mine was like, I mean, it was around 2006 ish, and yeah, mine was like $500.
You had tungsten too?
It's tungsten, yeah, and it was just. Sorry if there's some sound issues. We only have 2 mics and 3 people, so we've been handing back and forth. But yeah, but. Zach, I haven't worn a ring for, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. I wore one of those Enzos. Is that what it's called?
Those like the silicone rings?
Yeah, like the silicone one. I wore one of those for a little bit, and then, I don't know, I just don't like rings. Yeah, and I was telling my wife how surprising it is that I'm not being hit up every 5 minutes. But it's never happened. Maybe I don't know. I'm broken because I'm not getting hit on. No one's saying, "Oh, he doesn't have a ring." They're saying, "Oh, those look like sausage fingers." "Oh, those smell like McDonald's." But I don't know. I think that wearing the ring, I think it's good. I actually kind of wish I did wear a ring more, but I don't like it. I don't like the way it feels. Maybe because my fingers have grown 12 sizes in the last, X amount of years I've been married. I don't know. It just annoys me. Watches, they kind of annoy me too. I don't know. So some people think that I'm the devil for not wearing a wedding ring, Seriously, I still can't believe that was $25. I'm gonna sell mine.
Didn't you just drop like $1,500 on like the newest, nicest Apple Watch?
Yeah. Yeah, but that's because I wanted a shark band. And shark bands are
You needed,
because they're just thin. They're they're not clankety clankety. Because I hate when you're typing on the keyboard and it's clanking on the desk and clankety clink. Although I do sweat a lot and so it gets sweaty. But whatever. Wonder why girls aren't coming after me.
Any other questions we want to ask our our guest. I mean, this has been awesome. I think it's cool to see your perspective where you're kind of in the thick of building your career right now. I kind of want to jump ship and become a goldsmith. Can I be your apprentice?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, cool.
It's a lot of fun. It'd be dope having you around the shop.
That would be
cool.
That would be fun.
Yeah, but seriously, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I mean, this is another Tuesdays Tuesdays with cousin Levi. It's 1:00 in the morning, and we just pumped ourselves up before the podcast and decided to have a fun time. So
right now, Levi's just saying to himself, "Aren't you guys like early 40s and you should be in bed like 3 hours ago?
Aren't you guys early 40s and awesome?" Yeah. So
Can I do a couple shout outs?
yeah,
I'll just do
to your mom.
Yeah. Mom, I love you.
Yeah. Your
Sorry,
dad,
I'm a disappointment.
Your dad keeps asking, so he'll listen. Yeah.
So the company I work for, if you're ever interested in getting custom jewelry or really any jewelry, is Forged Jewelry Works.
In Provo.
In Provo. We just have the one shop right now, and we're moving shops probably in August or September or sometime, but we're still staying in Provo, so you can come visit us there, and you can ask for me specifically if you want any help with anything. We also just released a new line of rings. They're called temple bands, but they're a specific design to each temple. They're 4 millimeters wide, so they're kind of thinner, but if you want to do a custom one that's bigger or smaller, we could always do that too. But yeah, those are all on our website, and you can check those out.
They're on the Forged Jewelers website?
Yeah, forgedjewelryworks.com.
ForgedJewelryWorks.com.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I've seen them. Actually, here I have this picture. So, yeah, they're sweet, man. And apparently they're selling like hotcakes, right?
Yeah, they're going pretty crazy. But yeah, you can get them in sterling silver, 10, 14 karat gold, in any color gold.
And just like your high school video that you did, these were all your idea.
Yeah, well, the idea wasn't mine. All the designs are mine except for 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So, all those, I just picked some design aspect from a temple and put it on a ring, or see how I can incorporate that piece of a temple on a ring.
Can you buy them online?
You can. Yeah.
Nice. Cool, man. Well, dude, love having you. You're a baller, and maybe I'll come buy a wedding ring.
Yeah, we're thinking about putting my 10-year anniversary's coming up. We were thinking about putting a band on with my wife's engagement ring. That's what she's had all along. She still wears it all the time. And so, yeah, might be time to spruce it up a little bit.
Dope. Yeah, come by. I'll give you guys a deal. And whoever listens to this, I'll give you a deal too. Just come in. I'll help you out.
Yeah, just use promo code 2dudestuesday. No, I'm just kidding.
Use promo code Hi Mom.
Thanks for listening.
You get a 50% kickback on that, so
Dude,
it really helps the podcast.
There was
That's right.
there was a lady on my daughter's softball team. Dude, she has cubic zirconium on one of her teeth.
No way.
Yeah, just like on a tooth. Like just one. She's like, so it looks, she says she saw a girl in college who had one and just sports it.
Softball grills.
Softball grills.
You guys expanding into the dental area? Yeah.
All right, so how do we end this again? I forget every single time.
If we don't talk to you soon, good afternoon,
good evening, and good night. Wow, let's edit that.
Levi's
nerds. Yeah, we're the
Adios.
coolest 40-year-olds ever.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.